Hello again. I'm Mina Zamani, a student of USA, and today I had a presentation and I'll share. In daily life, we all have some situations like when we saw a sensitive situation, we cry, or a simple example like when our friend get a great score, we either happy for her and laugh, and something like this. All these are because our empathy side of our brain. And today we discover what is empathy and that parts of our brain that's related to empathy. So, what is empathy? Empathy means understanding and sharing how someone else's feels. It's noticing their emotions and caring about what they are going through. Uh, and the role of anterior cingulate cortex and insula and empathy. And this is also related to empathy. The anterior cingulate cortex and the insula are two very important parts of the brain that play a major role in human emotions, especially empathy. So, what is anterior cingulate cortex? It's located the front part of our brain, and it's involved in emotional control, decision making, and response to pain. When we see someone who is sad or suffering, uh, our anterior cingulate cortex becomes active, even if we are not feeling the pain ourselves. This shows that our brain can feel the pain of others. So, what is insula? It found deep inside the brain. The insula helps us become aware of internal body states such as heartbeat, hunger, or excitement. It is also responsible for processing feelings like empathy, love, uh, hatred, and embarrassment. When we sense someone else's emotions, the insula gets active. When we emphasize with others, these two brain areas work together to help us understand and connect with their emotions. That's why empathy is not just a feeling. It it's a complex neurological process in the brain. And uh, thanks from all. It's finished.
Ms. Mondi, can you please scroll to the next? Yes. So thank you so much, Mina, for your presentation. I would like you to tell us, it was brilliant presentation. Tell us, how did you prepare yourself, Mina, for this presentation? When did you?
Actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
actually, in 2 days, I was so busy, and today I prepared it, and I think about that. How should I can uh, add the words that it's they are not in the presentation, and I think about it so much that at the first of presentation actually I added some, but it's not something I think.
Yes, you wanted to add some new information. Why didn't you add those? Okay, so my question is, Mina, you, in our class, not last week, but the week before, you were asked about these topics, right? And you quickly did some research and shared it with me, if you remember. That's what was the starting point. Mina showed her interest. When we were talking about neuroscience, about empathy, she quickly did this research because there are some words that are a bit tricky. Now, Miss Imandi, could you please take us, scroll us to the first slide? Mina's second slide. Yeah. Now, what is empathy? We talked about the definition. That's okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, the tricky word was anterior cingulate cortex. This is not a word we always often use, you know. The acronym is ACC. And this is something new. I'm sure it's new for those girls who have never done any research on neuroscience. But Mina, what she did, she quickly did some research on ACC, and she got this information that anterior cingulate cortex, which part of the brain it is, and insula also, where is it located? And she not only did the research, she found the images. Miss Imandi, could you please take us to the next slide? Yes. So this is the slide image she found on the internet, and she shared it with me. So what I thought, it's important, let's do a presentation for the class. So anterior cingulate. What is anterior? Who can tell me the meaning of anterior? What is the meaning of the word anterior? Anyone in the chat, please write or take the microphone and say, what is anterior?
May I
Yes,
answer?
please. Yes, Mariam, go ahead.
Anterior means the front part.
Exactly. Well done. And can you tell me the opposite of anterior?
The backward part or
Yes,
the posterior part?
There is another word with letter P.
Yes.
I think it's
Teacher,
posterior, isn't
Who
it?
said that? Who said that?
It's me, Nigarin.
teacher, can say?
Brilliant, Garin. Thank you. Yes, who did I stop? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Teacher, I can say?
Of course, go ahead.
Teacher, interior is the in front of part of, is posterior is back of, side is and in front of, and the opposite is inferior is and the opposite is posterior, and it's called in the medicine or medical, this what is it's like as anatomy.
So what have you studied, Suraya? Tell us. What is your area of education?
Yes. Interior and posterior is used the anatomy subject, yeah?
Actually, anterior and posterior can be
in
used in any subject, okay? But when you're
yes.
describing the brain parts, they usually talk about anterior and posterior. Here we are talking about anterior cingulate cortex because this is a part of the brain which is located at the front of your brain, okay? So when it is at the front, we say it anterior. Anterior is another word for front, frontal region.
Yeah, in front of.
Yeah.
Front. I can see front.
And this plays a key role when you're practicing empathy. What happens is it regulates your emotional, state of mind. It regulates your decision making. When you're making some decision, it really helps your anterior cingulate cortex. Everyone,
Yeah.
your microphones are off. That's great. I want you to say this word loudly so that you can hear your own voice. Anterior cingulate cortex. Can you all say that, please? Anterior cingulate.
Anterior cingulate
And
cortex.
That's right. Say it again.
Anterior
anterior
Cortex. So it's part of the brain. Try to remember it.
Anterior
You see,
cingulate
Meena
cortex.
has done this research and she has, she has shared it with us. And it says that the frontal part of the brain, which really gets activated when you practice empathy. And this is really good because the ACC, anterior cingulate cortex, what it does, it helps us to recognize when someone is in pain or in distress. Okay, if one of your family member is sad, your anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, will help you to recognize that. And then you can offer help to that person, which is so important because Rana has written something. In anatomical terms, anterior refers to the front of the body. Well said, Rana. I'm so proud of you. While posterior refers to the back of the body. Think of it like this. If you are facing forward, your front is the anterior and your back is the posterior. Very well written, Rana. It's such a good explanation. So people, don't forget, anterior means front and posterior is the rear side, just the opposite side. Okay, Meena has Meena left? I will send her a feedback later after class probably, because she had to leave. Miss Mandi, could we scroll down? Okay, thank you, girls.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Want me to
that's
scroll
okay.
down?
No, you don't have to scroll down because now students are going to share their stories. We wanted
Yeah.
to discuss some science aspects we did today, and we will continue in our next class. Now, if anyone would like to present like Meena did today, you have to come up with a topic from our slides, what I'm going to share now, and then you can tell me, you can let us know what you would like to present about. Like some people can, let's talk about, you can choose your research topic. Can you see the slides, everyone? Yes or no?
yes, miss.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now,
Yes,
if you look at I'm going to give you some topics. You can choose a topic yourself and then let us know that what would be your topic. Okay. Now, Mahen, do you mind reading this, the slide in front of us? Could you please read this? Thank you, Mahen. Mahen,
Yes, ma'am.
Mahen, you're muted. Okay, go ahead, read.
In the name of God, everyone invents one empathy is
Can't hear you properly.
ability to act, understand,
Mahen, sorry, Mahen, we can't hear you properly. We will
I
wait
think she has issues.
with
She has
yes.
issues with her.
Okay, Suhaila, do you mind reading?
Very
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready to read.
Thank you.
nutrition, other nutrients.
Should I read or wait for Mahin?
You're such a sweet student. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Mahin, do you mind just re-entering the platform? Sometimes it helps with the connectivity. Do you mind just exit and come return again? Okay, Mahin, we can't hear you properly. Suhela, you read this slide, please.
Okay. 5 benefits of practicing empathy with support from neuroscience. The first one is stronger relationships. Empathy helps us connect better with others. Neuroscience shows that when we feel understood, our brains release oxytocin, a chemical that builds trust and bonding.
Thank you so much, Suhela. Very good reading. But we call this oxytocin. Oxytocin. Can you say oxytocin?
Oxytocin.
Yeah, that's the name of the hormone. Now, someone can do some research and say, what does this oxytocin? I think someone did it beginning of the class, that what oxytocin, the positive things it, when the brain releases this hormone, what it does to your body, it calms your body. So someone can make a presentation in the next class about oxytocin, how empathy practice helps to release oxytocin in your brain, in your body. Okay. So thank you very much for reading this slide. Let's move on to the next
Miss
slide.
Madam,
Yes, please go ahead, Miss
sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. You could please check your messages.
Sure.
Thank you.
No, I don't see any. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Suraya, okay, I'll prepare next week. So Suraya is Miss Imandi, if you can write it down, please. Suraya proposes to present in our next class, and she will be, her topic will be oxytocin. Okay. So I invite the next student who will be reading this. Tahira. Tahira, would you mind reading this, please, this slide?
Okay, yes, ma'am. By the name of Allah, improved learning. When teachers or peers show empathy, students feel safe and supported. This reduces stress, allowing the prefrontal cortex, the brain's thinking center, to work better for learning and problem solving.
For learning and problem solving. Good reading. Well done. Okay. Latifa, do you mind reading next slide, please?
Miss, I am Latifa Sadat Musavi. Ma'am?
Yes, go ahead, Latifa.
Okay. Better emotional regulation. Empathy activates brain areas like the anterior cingulate cortex and insula, which help us recognize emotions, our own and others, and respond calmly rather than with anger or fear.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Latifa. So what do we know about insula? Because at the when Meena was presenting, she talked about insula. And she also talked about anterior cingulate cortex. Now, can you or anyone in the class tell us about insula? What is insula?
It is also one of the most important part of our brain.
Okay, and what does it do?
It helps us in making decisions and some emotions like these things.
Okay, decision making. Would you say that is the decision making? Yes. Good answer, Latifa. And it helps with your decision making. It's also called the insular cortex. It's part of your brain that helps you feel things inside your body. But here, what we are discussing is when you practice empathy, what happens?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, what happens when you practice empathy? What happens to your insula? Yes. Anyone in the class will help to Rana. Rana, do you mind explaining what insula does when you practice empathy, Rana?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Rana. Would you like to say anything about insula?
In Persian or in English?
English, please.
Okay. The insula is the role of the anterior insula is empathy has been supported by numerous neuroimaging studies reporting activation in response to other in pain, painful physical or thermal heat stimuli, and to expression of digest, fear, anxiety, and happiness.
So what it does is helps you to recognize someone else's pain or recognize the emotions of other people. Say someone is very sad. So insula will help you recognize the emotion of the other person.
Miss, can I say something
Who is this?
about insula?
Yeah, go ahead.
Elaha. So it also helps us feel and understand internal body state like hunger, heartbeat, or the need to breathe, or emotional processing. The insula is active when we feel emotions such as disgust, happiness, or sadness, or anxiety. It also about risk and decision. It helps us evaluate risky choices based on how we feel internally. And also insula process both physical and emotional pain.
Well done. And who is this person who was saying it?
Miss Elaha Ashrafi.
Ilaha, do you mind making a presentation for our next class on insula, making the connection? When you practice empathy, what happens? What does insula do to your body? Okay, will you be
Yes,
able
miss, I will definitely make a presentation.
Like Meena did today? It is your topic for next class, okay? Next Tuesday, not Friday. Friday we have other class, but next Tuesday, Miss Rajeshri, will you please write down that someone's, this is the second presentation. Who's doing the first one, Miss Rajeshri?
Suraya.
Suraya's, what is Suraya's topic?
Suraya.
Oxytocin, right?
Oxytocin. Yeah.
Yeah, Suraya's presentation
And
is
now Elaha, right?
Yeah,
Ashrafi?
Elaha.
Yeah, Ashrafi. Elaha Ashrafi, miss.
We will be making a presentation, the connection between empathy and insula. Okay, thank you, Elaha, for volunteering, to present on next Tuesday. We all our teachers appreciate when students volunteer, when they are proactive about their learning. It is very important because learning is no longer spoon feeding. It's we are going to give you the information and you're going to absorb it. It's not like that. I appreciate how Rana volunteers. Rana does her research. She shares. Latifa did the same. People will be more proactive about their learning. We are here just to support you. We are here to guide you. But the learning has to be done by you. Latifa, do you have a question? Rana, do you have a question?
No, ma'am. Just for reading, I raised my hand.
Thank you, Rana. Okay, now let's see. Who's going to be the next person, Miss Imandi, who can read the next slide?
Can I read, teacher?
Who is this?
This is Nazifa has a
Nasifa,
Nazifa
yes.
has a.
Go ahead, Nasifa.
Is it Nazifa or Nasifa?
Z.
Nazifa. Hi,
Nazifa.
teacher.
Nazifa.
Mm.
Yes. 4. Release stress and anxiety, helping others to feel and feeling prepared for activities they permissive nervous system, climbing the body, and lowering cortisol and stress hormone.
Thank you so much, Nazifa. There are some tricky words here. I mean, it's important that we practice properly. So, when we practice empathy, then what happens is your body slowly becomes free of anxiety and there will be less stress. Why? Why does it happen? So it actually, what happens is it activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Now, as a result, when this is a tricky word, girls, I want you to practice. Break it up in syllables. Parasympathetic nervous system. You have to practice saying it. Parasympathetic nervous system. What it does is it calms your body. And cortisol again is a stress hormone. When the cortisol level is down, that means your body will be more relaxed, stress-free. And that is what happens when you are kind and empathetic towards others. That is what happens. Your cortisol level is lowered in your body. Now, who would like to do some research about cortisol? Any volunteer who would like?
I will do.
Yes,
Nigarin says she would like to do this. Nigarin, please write down your topic of research is cortisol.
Nigarin.
Yes, please. Nigarin would like to research on cortisol, the stress hormone. Okay, the next slide. Miss Imandi, would you help me, please? I don't know.
Can I read, teacher?
Who is this?
Zahra.
Latifa.
Zahra.
May I read?
Miss Imandi, could you please?
Zahra is also there. Zahra Razai. Zahra Razai, can you please read?
Yes, teacher, I will read it. In the name of Allah,
if you have done it, if you have
Should
done
I read?
the readings, then please give it to someone else a chance to read because there are more
No,
than
teacher,
40
I have read.
students. Okay.
No, she hasn't read. Zahra hasn't read.
Okay, I will read. Okay, teacher?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, in the name of Allah, positive brain development in children. Empathy-rich environments encourage the growth of neural pathways in the social brains. Helpful children develop emotional intelligence and resilience.
that lasts as lifetime.
Good
Thanks.
reading. Now, I can understand there are some tricky words because science terminologies are always very difficult to pronounce. But however, this is emotional intelligence, and this word is resilience. Okay, 3 words, and also someone in our class could volunteer to present about what is an empathy-rich environment. What do you understand by empathy-rich environment? Any taker? Anyone would like to present about what you understand by empathy-rich environments?
Hello, ma'am. I'm ready to search about this.
Who is this?
I'm Tamana Hashimi.
Tamana?
Tamana Hashimi. Yes.
Tamana Hashimi.
Miss Rajeshri, could you please write down? Tamana Hashimi would like to do research on empathy-rich environment. Now, when children grow up in an environment where it is people care for one another, people are empathetic towards each other, then what happens is it helps their growth of their neural pathways and in their social brain, and that helps the children to become more resilient, more caring, they develop their emotional intelligence. So these are all positives. What happens when children learn about empathy from early years? Now you can, after this slide, I will go back to the definition of empathy. What is empathy? We are talking about what empathy does to your body. But going back to the definition of empathy, who's going to help us with the definition of how do you define this word empathy? Who's going to read? Let's read the slide first, then I will ask you about your interpretation of empathy. Humaira's hand is up and some other PE students' hand up. Miss Rajeshri, would you like to invite Miss Rajeshri?
We can have Mehbooba. Mehbooba.
Mehbooba.
I see Humaira also.
Mehbooba, would you like to read, please?
Hello to everyone. Should I read this?
Yes, please.
What is empathy? Empathy means understanding and sharing how someone else feels. It's noticing their emotions and caring about what they are going through.
Excellent reading, Mahbooba. Well read. Now, have you got a story, empathy story, Mahbooba? Because some of the students on the WhatsApp group, they were sharing their empathy stories. Now, today is your opportunity to share your empathy story. Have you got it?
Yes, maybe. Empathy. 2 weeks ago, I broken my foot, one of my fingers in the gym. Suddenly, my trainer comes to me and get me to hospital and help me to do it better. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehbooba. Mehbooba, if you look at the slide, you told us, you shared with us what happened in the situation. You broke your toe, right, Mehbooba? Did you break your toe?
One of my foot finger. I mean.
Okay, yes, you broke your toe, one of your toes. Anyway, so this is what happened. You shared the first answered the first question. What happened in that situation? Then your trainer came and trainer showed you the empathy, right? Trainer showed you
Yes.
empathy, and then you were
Yes.
taken from the gym to the hospital, right?
Yes.
So the trainer took you to the hospital, and
Yes.
and the trainer showed empathy. And how did
Yes.
it make you feel, Mahbuba? How did it make you feel?
Uh, I feel so better. I feel their kindly actions and emotional acting, or I feel they're understanding me. They are understanding me.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience when you're in the receiving end, that you were hurt, someone cared for you, and your trainer showed empathy, looked after you, and that you felt grateful, and you were feeling better, but because there was someone around to look after you, to take care of you. That's a very positive feeling. And thank you so much, Mehbooba, for sharing your story.
Thank you too, teacher.
Miss Imandi, would you like to say something? Any feedback for Mehbooba?
Yeah. See, yeah, it's not always that we only have to show empathy. When we get when we receive from the other end also, it feels so good. And we know that there is someone there for us to show their empathy towards us. Um, that is what I felt, that it was the receiving end for her, and she felt it so happy that somebody had shown empathy towards her. And the world is always, we should not think negative. There are people who care for others too.
That's so
And
important.
that's a wonderful feeling I think you should be having. Yeah. And it's so, I don't know how did she, how much, like when you find somebody caring for you, you feel that, yeah, I have got someone who is there for me, even if I don't ask for it.
True.
Isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, Miss Imandi. That was so.
If you feel times, don't you feel like that?
Yeah, that's so true. That particularly if you know there are people
Thank you.
around, that is what we talked about, empathy-rich environment. When you know there are people around you who care for you, you feel more comforted, you feel that you feel happier, and you feel, yes, there are students who are raising hand. Nadia, do you have anything to say here?
I think she wants to present her. Nadia Redai.
Okay, I have something to say here.
Humaira
Okay, Miss Imandi, can you please keep a
Nazari
record? Miss Imandi?
wants to say. Sara
Yeah.
Pashtanur wants to say.
Miss Imandi,
Yes.
could you please
Humaira
keep a...
Nazari.
Yeah, I know.
Humaira.
I know. Miss Imandi, can you please...
Mahin Fikrat also wants to. Humaira actually tried.
Okay, Miss Imandi.
Yes, tell me.
Could you please keep a record who are already sharing, so that we won't ask the same people? What I really like about this storytelling, because the person, she has answered all the questions. What happened in that situation? Who showed empathy here? What did they do or say? How did it make you feel? Why do you think empathy is important? So when you are narrating your story, please remember to answer all these questions, okay? Ms. Mandi, who will be the next person to share the story?
Actually, Humaira Nazari was wanting to present since long. We tried, she had a problem with her microphone. If she's okay with her microphone, she can come up and speak. Present now. Humaira?
Humaira, I read
Humaira
your
Nazari.
story, Humaira. You can share it here.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. First, I'm going to tell what is empathy. Empathy means understanding and feeling the emotions of another person, standing in their shoes and seeing the world through their eyes. But from the heart, it's it's not just feeling sorry for someone. It's feeling with them and choosing to help even when you're struggling too. Uh, Empathy isn't always loud. Sometimes it's found in quiet actions, in the presence of someone who never leaves your side, even when they're struggling themselves. For me, empathy has a name. It's my uncle. He's young, but he's faced more than most people twice his age. Living and working hard in Iran far from comfort, he carries many of his own burdens, but even with all his struggles, he's always been beside me like a lighthouse in my darkest nights. When when I was still in Afghanistan, he was the only one who took me to school when no one else could or would. He helped me with my homework, stayed up late explaining things I didn't understand, and supported me through every exam. He never let me feel alone in my learning, even when I felt like the world had forgotten girls like me. Later, when we were both in Iran, he tried everything to help me find a school. He walked from class to class, knocked on every door, and begged teachers to give me a chance. But none of the schools accepted me. I saw the disappointment in his eyes, not for himself, but for me. He never gave up, not once. Even now, when we are apart again, he calls me every single night. He asks about my day, my studies, and my feelings. He worries about my future more than his own. His voice carries warmth and strength, even when he's tired from work or hurting in silence. He may not be famous or rich, but to me he's a hero, a quiet, kind, and selfless soul who taught me that true empathy is not just feeling someone's pain, it's carrying some of it with them and walking beside them through it. And whenever I feel like giving up, I remember his words that say, "You have to be strong, because one day many girls will look up to you and learn from you." Thank you.
What a beautiful presentation. Oh, you should be very proud of yourself. Humaira, that was brilliant. And you know, the language you used was very powerful as well. When you said it doesn't have to be very loud, empathy doesn't have to be loud. You can show your empathy quietly, silently, even a gesture. With your gesture, you can show your empathy. Someone said at the beginning of the lesson, when the other person was struggling to share, to read because the audio wasn't working, the other student said, "Teacher, shall I wait?" Or, you know, that was so kind and empathetic. So that makes our platform empathy rich platform where people understand and care for each other. And your beautiful presentation, your appreciation for your uncle who's so caring, and that is a brilliant example for rest of us to know what empathy really means. Thank you, Humaira. I'm really interested to see what other students are saying about your presentation, because that's a practice we encourage. When you are sitting down and listening to others, please give some feedback. Your thoughts, very important for you know, very important to us, because when you're critically listening, when you're appreciating others, you know what to do during your presentation and also what not to do. So your pace was good. I could understand it all. And people who are sitting and listening, you have the role of giving feedback. We always encourage this, and I don't see any feedback yet in the chat. Please just don't sit idle. Get, share something. It's important. And always we say 2 stars and 1 wish. 2 stars means what you really like about Humaira's presentation. I said, I like the story. I can see some people are writing now. Thank you, Nuria. Oh, no, that's your presentation. I mean, Shukriya said it was motivating and joyful, especially from your voice. Your voice was good. Well, yes, I'm interested to hear. Okay, so Mariam has written, I really do admire the way she presented. Yes, it is good. It was like a story. It was flowing so beautifully. And she was sharing anecdotes, like how her uncle took her to school when no one would or could. That was beautifully said. And then how he helped her with the homework. And, this is like an exemplary figure for everyone, such an empathetic soul. Beautifully shared, Humaira. Well done. And Sultana has written, your presentation was perfect and interesting, and I enjoyed. Thank you. Now, this is something I always say to the students. Don't just say good or perfect. Say, why do you think it is perfect? Because there were many stories weaved in that, in her presentation. And stories make it always interesting. If there are powerful stories, people love to listen to it. And that's exactly why we found Humaira's presentation so powerful. Thank you, Sultana. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. So, Miss Imandi, would you like to choose the next presenter, please, who would like to share the empathy story?
I would like to share, ma'am.
Miss Imandi?
May I?
Is Miss Imandi here? I can't see.
No, ma'am. No, she's not here. So Shukriya Sidaqat is ready to present her empty story.
Thank you, Miss Nazari. Would you mind just making the list of students we have here?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm just following it.
Okay, thank you.
Miss?
Okay,
Miss?
who's the
Miss?
next?
Shukriya
Miss?
Sidaqat, she raised her hand
Miss?
and get ready.
Miss?
May I?
Miss?
Ma'am,
Who is
may
this?
I something
Who's
briefly?
saying miss?
This is Shukriya Sidaqat.
Okay, go ahead.
May I, teacher, hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, Shukriya.
Okay. Actually, when I face this feeling, I need to talk to someone I trust in order to feel relaxed. We know that in life there are certain people who can emotionally understand us and empathize with us. These people usually include our family and best friends. Personally, when I experience this feeling, I either write down all my feeling on paper or talk to trusted friend to find a sense of peace. I think empathy is very important in our life. If we don't share our emotions with someone, we might face a psychological problem in our social our on the future and withdraw in the future. Therefore, we should always try to talk to someone about bad or good feelings. Finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Shukriya. You started your presentation very well. You defined the meaning of empathy. You said why it's important to you. What was missing? It was very heartfelt what you said, because it resonates with most of us why empathy is so important, and you made it very clear. But what I was looking for a story where someone showed you empathy, and what happened. Do you have a story?
Yes, when I lost my mother and when died my mother, I feel empathy, and this is my story.
Okay, let's look at this. What happened in that situation? When you lost your mother, you felt, how did you feel?
I feel sadness, I suffering, that
You
it
felt
was
lonely, right?
yes, yes,
You felt lonely. You felt alone. You felt,
yes.
Shukriya, you felt so at that time, who showed you empathy?
Best friend, my best friend.
Your best friend showed you empathy. Now you tell us how. How did your best friend show you empathy?
Tell me, and he some advice to me, and he hear my story. He listened to my story, and he tried to blame me. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, she.
So I was thinking you had a boyfriend. That's okay. You can have a boyfriend.
Girlfriend, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was listening to you. She gave you company. She spent time with you. She comforted you, saying, here you're answering question number 3. What did they do or say? So she spent time with you. She heard your stories. She heard what you had to say. Even sometimes you can be empathetic by not saying a word, just listening to other person. That is being empathetic as well. You don't have to say a lot of things, you just sit there by your friend and listen. How did it make you feel, Shukriya, when your friend listened to you and gave you advice? How did it make you feel?
I feel claimed.
You felt?
Yes, I feel claimed, and it less my stress and less my anxiety.
Yes. You felt more peaceful. Your anxiety was reduced. And that's all what you need. When you lose someone, a dear one in your life, you need someone around you to listen to you, to comfort you, to say, something, positive. That's right. So it made you feel better. So
Yes.
that's why you understand why empathy is so important, Shukriya, right? Why is empathy so important? Because empathy makes us feel happier, Yeah, and it's not only happier, it also, you know, it is something that helps your well-being. You know, you
Yes,
feel
it
better.
makes me happier.
Yes, and also your, you know, that is the reason why we want
Yes.
everyone to be empathetic to each other. Like, no matter who is there in your family, mom, dad, brother, sister, if everyone is empathetic, then our world is going to be a much better place. Okay, we are kind to each other. So I know there are lots of students are sitting and waiting and saying, Paramita is not being empathetic to me. She's not listening. There are 40 students and we didn't get a chance to listen to everyone. So what do we do, Miss Rajeshri? Any suggestion?
Why don't they share it a video clip or audio clipping and or a presentation or make a presentation and share it so that we can
I really
share it
like
on
your
the
idea, Miss
platform.
Rajeshri. I love your idea, what you just said. How about people recording their voice, sharing their story on our WhatsApp group, and everyone will listen to each other's story and we can give feedback? What do you think, Miss Rajeshri? Is it possible?
I agree I agree to that totally. And also they can make the presentation and whenever we can then have it on the show it on the class in the class sometime whenever we have a lot of time. I think but I think or they can also post it on the group, the presentation there also each one can see it. That both ways,
Excellent idea.
audio as well audio